Welcome to the show. We are sharing stories with solutions from people who have overcome adversity and healed their life. I am your host, Victoria Johnson, teacher trainer for the Heal Your Life Workshop Teacher Program and the Heal Your Life Coach Training Program. You can learn more about me and the training at 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡. That's THE training.ca. As Louise Hay always said, the point of power is in the present moment. So let's get started. Hello, beautiful listeners. You're going to be super excited about who I have on the show today. And I really, really mean it. So stay tuned, because who I have with us today has spoken alongside amazing thought leaders, people who have changed all of our lives: Louise Hay, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Bob Proctor, and the likes. Her name is Michele Blood. Her website is micheleblood.com. And she is with us today. She's been featured in the magazine Marie Claire, hundreds of other ones, podcasts, radio stations globally. She has worked with Jack Canfield extensively, and he speaks very highly of her and her energy. She has recorded music that she's going to share with us for free. I'm going to tell you right now, you can go to her website, micheleblood.com. So that's Michele with one L, blood.com/heal your life. And you are going to get her online course as well as her most popular best-selling music. So please do check that out. I will put the link in the show notes. And welcome to the show, Michele.
Thank you, Victoria. Wonderful to be here with like-minded blondies.
Oh, so true. You know, we were having a little chat before we started recording here, and I feel like we could probably record a 6-hour podcast right now because we have so much in common. To the listeners, just let me say, we won't actually do that, but I'm sure that Michele will be back to share her wisdom with you again. So with our show, we love to talk about overcoming adversity. And I know you're no stranger to adversity and no stranger to success. And I'd love if you would share a bit of your journey with the listeners on how your life took a sudden turn, and then how you were able to use the power and magic of affirmations to heal your body and heal your life.
Well, it's a great story. Very unique. I was a rock singer in Australia, very popular bands, and, records out, videos, touring all over the country, sharing the stage. Being backup for Pretenders and, so many big bands when they'd come out to Australia. Had a great record contract. On our way home from the gig one night, 12-hour drive. Australia's a big, big place. I was with the truck driver this particular night, and he fell asleep at the wheel, and we went into a telephone pole, and all the musical equipment went into me. And so I was in the hospital for months and months and months. At first few weeks, I didn't know if I'd live or die. Had so many broken bones, and my pelvis and hip was completely smashed into splinters. And they said, you probably never walk again, but you'll, eventually after the first operation, which went for 19 and a half hours, they said, well, you're going to live, but you'll have to be in traction from. I was just hideous. It was the best thing that ever happened to me, though, Victoria. You've probably heard those sort of stories before.
So the worst thing in the moment, you're thinking your career is over, your body is injured, has somehow turned out to be the best thing that's happened in your life.
Yes.
I know we want to know how that happened.
Well, what happened was, in that hospital, fans and people kept bringing me in all these positive things to listen to, because I couldn't move, so I couldn't read, and I'm flat on my back and in agony, not pain, agony. So It was just, I wasn't suicidal, but I was just had no life left in me. I thought, if I can't be on that stage doing my cartwheels and doing my crazy stunts in front of thousands of people every night, who am I? Because I'd been doing it professionally since I was 5. First TV appearance, I was on TV in Australia at 5.
So your whole life as you knew it was gone.
Yeah, exactly. And, people would say, yeah, but you'll still be able to sing. And I was like, what? You can still write songs. Anyway, one of the tapes that I was given was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in that book, when I listened to it, I didn't like any of the book. I didn't care about the entrepreneurs in America in the 20s, all these men, Henry Fords or anything, couldn't care less. So, but what I loved was the chapter where Napoleon Hill healed his son through doing auto-suggestion, which we now know we call affirmations. And every night he went into his little boy's infant son's room and said, "You are healed. You can hear perfectly. You are a great man. You're well-liked. You're popular. You're giving. You're perfectly healthy." By the time he was 5, he went to a normal hearing school. He had 30% of his hearing. This is before the hearing aid industry took off. As a young man, he ended up backing the hearing aid industry and became an extremely successful entrepreneur in the hearing aid industry, his son. So I decided I would try affirmations. So, and when someone says try, they're not sure, it's not a good word to use.
We've all been there.
So I made one up. So I said, okay, I've got to believe it's already happened. It's got to be something that I believe has happened that hasn't happened yet, but that I really want to have happen. Okay, I'm not healed. I may never be healed completely. So I am healed. That's my first affirmation. I know I am, because I didn't. I love myself. I am my friend. And I certainly didn't love myself, felt a little, suicidal and so depressed and in agony. But I did that affirmation over and over again for weeks, and it just didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is because the doubting mind would not let it go into the subconscious mind. Now, we neuroscientists have proven this now, but they didn't know about that back then. Right. That was what was happening. So it kept spitting it out saying, well, no, Michele, that is not the truth. You are not healed, so it didn't work. And then the most miraculous thing happened. I realized, oh my gosh, Victoria, I realized I'm a singer-songwriter. I'd even written successful jingles over the years. You cannot get a song out of your head if it's repeated over and over. So I decided I would write affirmation songs. At first, I had people go out and find some, and there weren't any back then. No one had done it. So I am healed, I know I am. I love myself, I am my friend. Sang it over and over and over again and just kept listening to it over and over. And then I was completely healed. Well, not completely, but miraculously. I mean, the doctors aren't supposed to say you're a miracle, but so then the press and everyone found out about it. I was in the studio straight after recording more affirmation songs for me and my band, but not for the public to listen to, just for us to listen to. I thought, if this one little affirmation song healed my body, imagine if I write lots of other affirmation songs about money and success. And so I did. I've ended up writing over 400, recording so many albums, even a little one for kids, Self-Esteem for Kids. And that's how I decided I would just dedicate my life to just doing these positive songs. And journalists and promoters in Australia who brought out people like 𝗟𝗢𝗥𝗡 and Bob Proctor and Jack Camp, they started hiring me to sing at these events and to speak about what happened to me and to sell my albums at the back of the room. I'd never made so much money in my life. I couldn't believe it, because in Australia, when you're a rock singer, it doesn't mean you've got money. That is for sure. So that's how it all started, the music, affirmation music.
It is so beautiful that you're sharing that with us, because I agree with you completely. Sometimes the hardest things in life are what bring us the most joy eventually, but it's that place in between that where the struggle is, where we really find out, I guess, what that crossroads, which way we're going to go. And I love that you had that aha moment where you decided to put it into song, because I think that you're absolutely right. I mean, we can all sing songs from our childhood, things that really bypass even the conscious mind. And so they become believable for us in these words. And I'm excited to use your songs as well, your songs of affirmation. And I know the listeners will be as well. So can you tell us a little bit about, so here's the missing piece for me. So you're a rock singer, you have an accident, there you are, flat on your back, and you realize, listen, I've got to do something to help my mind. So you engage in the power of affirmations. It seems to me like there would need to be the connection of the soul, the spiritual part with it as well, to make that something that stuck with you after you were released from the hospital. So it didn't fall by the wayside, as it does with so many of us. We'll start something, we'll get fired up, and then it's like, oh, I'm fine now, so I can stop doing that. So tell us about that fire within.
Oh, no, my divine purpose was to bring about positivity and healing around the world. And I knew that. And the interesting thing, Victoria, I'm so happy that you brought this up. The interesting thing is people don't understand, or they might think they believe that they're a spiritual being and that they're immortal consciousness, but they don't really until it's like knowing something isn't remembering something that you've read.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
having the experience of it. And with the affirmations, particularly the affirmation music, the left side of the brain is where the lyrics, the affirmations go in. The right side of the brain is the melody. So you have a whole brain experience. And that's why the affirmations have been proven to go into your subconscious mind 300 times faster than ever attempting to write them down or say them out loud, even though I do recommend that people write them down as well, because you're using a lot of your senses when you do that. And I certainly would write down hundreds of them over the years. But the thing is, as you become more positive, what happens is there's a frequency that we all vibrate at, and that frequency becomes faster. People say a high vibration, but it's a frequency, it's a speed of vibration. And that speed of vibration, as that gets faster within your cells of your body, which is all of your consciousness, you start feeling love. You start feeling your soul. Mm-hmm. And for me, what happened was I was just so in love with life and God. And all of a sudden, I just wanted to read every positive book there was. And I loved meeting all these wonderful people that I traveled the world working with, Bob Proctor especially, and his wife, Linda. But I was looking for something even greater. I wanted to know God. So I looked around for an enlightened teacher. Enlightenment is Jesus Christ, Yogananda, Saint Teresa of Avila. But I was like, is there anyone in this day and age who's enlightened? And it took me 18 years, but eventually I found an enlightened teacher who I went completely off the grid and studied with her for 12 years. And then I had my own awakening. So even if someone doesn't think they believe in spirituality or God, or call it love, whatever you choose to call it, it is what animates our very being. And it is what gives us purpose, and it guides us. Our higher self will tell us, go to left, go right. It is absolutely clear. It's like you've got this diamond, and it's coated with experiences and emotions that have hurt us in the past, so we can't feel it to start with. But as we clear our mind and we become more and more positive, it actually starts shining that diamond as a metaphor, so that you can actually start feeling your intuition. You can feel your higher self. So for me, it was like I was soul sick. I had to find God. I didn't know what that looked like or what it was, but because I felt like I had heart glow 24/7. And now, of course, I know it's because my heart chakra was slightly activated through all of this positivity and meeting these wonderful people and feeling this buzzing in the top of my head all the time. And so that's how my spirituality started. But it was interesting because as a child, I went to church every morning. I loved Jesus. I loved God. And it's sort of, puberty blues, it went away. Rock and roll, you know how it is. But anyway, it all came back, that's for sure.
So you're obviously very high vibration, and just talking to you, and I'm sure the listeners listening to you are picking up on that energy, and it's fueling them as well. And I'd love if you could share with us how we can maintain these high vibration feelings. I'm a journaler. I start journaling every morning. I start my day and I feel great. I write down a lot of affirmations. I'm like, woohoo, today's a great day. Everything is awesome. And maybe an hour later, a phone call will come and it'll knock that vibration down a little bit, and something else a little bit more and a little bit more. And by the end of the day, I'm in a different, I'm still feeling good, but I'm in a completely different vibration that I started the day in. Do you have advice on how to stay in that high vibration space authentically, not just being happy because we're supposed to?
Well, first of all, I don't believe you, because I think that you're a very high consciousness person, and I don't think you ever get down that far because you're really, really up there in positivity and in light. I can feel it. So you're just saying that to use yourself as an example, but I know that it's not completely true because you're awesome. Anyway.
Thank you, Michele.
But if someone does go through that, everybody goes through that while you're oscillating. It's like air conditioning. You put it on 70 degrees and then it's coming on, it's going off, but you always end up being back at 70 degrees. Whereas we're talking about oscillation of vibration. You have to have that oscillation and vibration go into a faster frequency so that you don't keep going back to the same degree that you were at. originally. You pump yourself up, and then you sort of end up going back to where the air conditioning or your conditioning is. And so what I found over the years is there's many, many things that you can do. Okay. Lots and lots of things you can do to fuel yourself. One of the things that just give you a couple of little tips, people, that you can do.
Love that.
You can put affirmations on sticky notes and put them in places that, into a winter coat, into a book that that you reread maybe once a year. Put it in a sock drawer where all the, there's only one sock of each, all the socks, a stocking drawer, whatever you like. And then out of the blue, all of a sudden, you putting your hand in your pocket for something, and you find this positive affirmation, and you're just like, oh, wow, glee, glee, glee. It's such a fun thing to do. I am a magnet to money. My day is awesome. Every day in every divine right way, I'm richer and richer. I'm richer in money, richer in friendship, richer in divine love, richer in meditation. You see all these wonderful affirmations. My latest book, The Magic of Affirmation Power. I've got hundreds of affirmations and affirmation music that I give away in there as well. So if anyone's really wants to get into the magnetic creative visualization, and you want to get into, because I think guided visualization is not meditation. It's a visualization. Meditation is the highest level that you can go to bring your oscillation up and to shine that diamond. Because once you keep going up to a higher and higher degree of oscillation, of vibration, you can feel it. You can't even look at a flower without just going, oh my gosh, because we have to have the 𝗙𝗎𝗓 up the ethereal spine become cleared with the Kundalini energy. And when you meditate, that happens. The highest thing I did was I found an enlightened teacher who could transmit light to me, who could give me light transmissions and teach me truly how to meditate, because I did it for years, meditation. But after just 2 months of having light transmissions with her, which is why I went off the grid and stopped doing seminars or anything. I had to become a beginner's mind completely. And so that's what I do now. I teach people deep meditation I've got students in over 26 countries. We do these live Zooms, and I send them light transmissions for healing, because you can't always do it yourself. If your diamond isn't completely shined up yet, you cannot feel it. So you may be saying, oh, I'm using the law of attraction, or I'm doing this or that, but you don't understand, because your diamond isn't shiny. You can't feel the divine. Your divine self can do anything, manifest anything for you as you. But if you can't feel it, you sometimes feel like you're one hair's breadth away from the success or the healing that you want. And people get so frustrated, Victoria, because they don't know what to do next. I'm a positive person. I'm doing the best I can. You've got to make it faster. If you can find an enlightened teacher, if it's not me, somebody else, there's about 6 that I know of on the entire planet. Well, then you can get light transmissions. But if you can dive deeply, just go deeply into consciousness. If you want to be awakened, even if you don't know what awakening is, if you can at least say, well, this is going to help my health. It's going to bring down my blood pressure. I'm going to absolutely be on purpose. I'll be self-propelled to do things. I won't have to will myself every day to go to the gym or something. It'll just be a natural evolution. And so that's what I recommend for everybody.
I love that you use that term, self-propelled, to keep ourselves, motivated and inspired, and not using our personal growth as something that we should do or a list on our things to do, but instead to be excited about it and to know that whatever we are vibrating at, whatever frequency we are acting upon, is what we are attracting more of into our lives. So life just gets better and better and better. I would love to hear a little bit more about the book that you just mentioned, The Magic in Affirmations. Is that what you called it?
The Magic of Affirmation Power.
Ooh, okay. Tell us more.
Well, it talks about my story, my journey. And then I always keep it simple, keep it simple and spiritual. and it goes into really explaining how affirmations work scientifically, psychologically, emotionally, and how to develop that. And it also goes into creative visualization, what meditation is. Some of the experiences that I had with Bob Proctor when we did visualization were just insane. I mean, one of the things we did in Kuala Lumpur was we visualized this song we were going to write called 2020 Vision. And I ended up doing it in the Bahasa Malaysian language as well. And we said that we would have 25,000 people come to see it live. 50,000 people came 1 year later.
Oh my goodness.
Because Bob always said, let's come up with a number and then double it. And then I would put myself on video, speaking to myself as if I was my future self. And I would put myself on video and talk to myself about all the amazing things that had happened to me. The next year, you're going to be blown away. It's say, for example, it was 1995. 1996, New Year's Eve, you're going to be blown away by all of these amazing things that have happened to you, blah, 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 and even greater things from the divine. And I would watch that, and years before my friend started Mind Movies, but Natalie, but it was, and I would add pictures, and I would actually edit this little video. And I think it's a really great way for people to manifest very quickly and go into a high vibration, because it's your future self talking to yourself. Get yourself dolled up, you two guys, and get it done. Because these days you've got Anatoly software, you can do any sort of future self video. If you put yourself in with it, not just with the images, it's a very, very powerful and beautiful exercise.
Well, and studies have shown that when we are hearing something in our own voice, we are far more likely to believe it. So I think having our own image saying it to us as well is just going to add that extra layer and that celebratory energy around it as well.
Exactly. You see, we're in synergy.
We are. Can you tell us where to find the magic of affirmation power?
You can get it anywhere good books are sold. But you can also get it. You can also get it from all my product. I've got tons of free products as well as other, over 80 products of positivity on magnet2success.com, or you can just go to Amazon and look up Michele Blood, The Magic of Affirmation Power, and or just go to magnet2success.com.
Okay, I'm going to put all of these links in the show notes, listeners, so you don't have to worry about remembering them. Magnet2success.com or on Amazon, and everything will be in the show notes. And I just want to ask you one more thing. I think a lot of us can relate to something going wrong. I mean, what happened with your accident, that was a big something going wrong. But we can all relate to something going wrong in our lives, whether we are maybe struggling with one of our children or employment or health or finances or whatever it might be. Do you have some tips for very quickly changing that mindset from complaining or maybe blaming someone else to a mindset that will serve us better?
Stop!
Number one tip.
You yell out, stop, and just say, you knucklehead, what are you doing? You're better than this. And listen to the Songs for Success and the Magnetic Creative Visualization. You're getting them for free. And you don't have to sing along. You don't even have to like my voice, although I think you'll love it.
I know they will.
You just listen to the music and you'll feel the energy come through straight away. I meditate on those songs all the time. They're very high vibe. They're very pop. Or if there's other songs that you love, I Feel Good by James Brown is a great affirmation song. I feel good and I knew that I would. I mean, hello. Or, do a little dance, make a little love. Casey and the Sunshine Band, showing my age. Anything that is fun, immediately put it on, even if you don't feel like it. And something that they can do which is awesome. We have been working for 10 months on the Magnet to Money app, magnet2moneyapp.com. It gives you a notice every hour, or every half hour, or every 2 hours, and the Magnet to Money song, a little snippet of it comes on. So you get reminded through this app on your phone, any sort of phone, the Magnet to Money. And I've got hundreds of affirmations in there as well. This new app is absolutely incredible. There's nothing like it. Magnet2moneyapp.com, because even when you can't get yourself to even listen to the music or even put on a CD, showing my age again, your iPod or whatever, the phone is like I'm a magnet to money. You keep hearing this over and over again, and you're just like, in the end, you're never afraid to talk about money. Money is your obedient servant. Money loves you. And it's all these great affirmations about wealth, and to get you away from thinking, oh, I'm not worthy to have money, or I don't have it. I don't want to even think about the bills. Just get away from that and have a friendship with money. It's an energy that allows you freedom. It's as simple as that.
I have been smiling the entire time you're talking. Absolutely. The power of music changes the energy that we have. And if anyone listening doubts that, think about when a song comes on the radio and all of a sudden you remember the person you had a crush on in grade 10, right? It can just change your mood. Or maybe a song that just always fuels you and pumps you up. It gives you energy just when you're driving down the road. And the same thing with a song that maybe you associate with something sad.
Yeah.
The emotion follows that energy. And so knowing that you have at your fingertips this affirmative music that can pick you up anytime, why wouldn't we use that? Why wouldn't we fuel ourselves with something that we know will work for us to help change our emotions and our feelings and our beliefs? Michele?
And if someone doesn't believe it, go to 𝗟𝗡𝗥𝗡 and have a look at all the studies from Johns Hopkins Hospital. So many studies about positive music and how that affects you. You'll be blown away. Science has proven this works fast. Victoria, you're awesome.
Michele, so are you. That is Michele with 1𝗟𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I have loved having you on the show. I can't wait to have you back. And thank you so much for being here. And listeners, I know you've loved this. Thanks for staying with us until the end. Thank you for joining us today. If you would like to become an internationally certified Heal Your Life teacher and coach, please visit thetraining.ca. To be a guest on the show and share your story, please visit 𝗟𝗚𝗥𝗡𝗥.org. Thank you so much for joining us.
Before you go, please, if you want to receive some amazing high vibrational success meditation, tons and tons of free products, go to michelleblood.com/links.